The world of social influencing is changing dramatically right now. And even from the start of the year until now, we've seen some really big developments. And there's a lot of predictions for the second half of the year that you need to know about if you want to be able to pivot and redesign what you're doing to make sure this is still a profitable space for you to be in. So today we are talking to Colleen Wilson. She is a person who owns an animal influencer agency and has just opened a marketplace, and she has her finger on the pulse of everything that is happening inside of the world of social influencing. And she speaks publicly on stages about how the shifts are happening right now, what it's going to be leading to in the future, and how we can navigate it right now as content creators and influencers. So let's jump in.
Hi, I'm Colleen. I founded PetsonQ. It is an animal talent agency. We also have the Animal List, where it's a public marketplace to hiring animal talent. We work with everything from animal actors to influencers, and we partner anyone looking to hire animals, like for birthday parties, weddings, anything, with animal talent, primarily influencers, content creators, animal actors. We've been in business for 10 years now. We also have a TV show on Netflix called Pet Stars.
So let's talk a little bit about social influencing, because you have your finger on the pulse of what's going on in the influencer world right now. We're seeing some pretty big changes from the way people are being paid to what is expected. So what are you noticing right now that are the trends shifting over to how it's going to be moving forward this year?
Yeah, so I've seen, and I like to pull my data from like what happened and why it's happening. I think right now things are blowing off really, really quickly. But pre-COVID, there was this massive influx of people shifting their attention to social media and off of traditional media. And media companies had less budget for, they had less budget for full commercials because they couldn't film them. So that entire budget went over to social media, and that's where people's attentions were. So with the limited influencers that were around at that time, which there were a lot of influencers, but that number has tripled since. But at that time, they were able to charge much more. So those influencers want this really high price point because that's what they're used to. That's what they got in COVID and coming out of COVID, and things have changed. Brands are not seeing the ROI from influencers anymore. So their budgets for influencers are impacted significantly. Like I just heard someone spent $20,000 on a post and they got 0 sales from it. And from someone else, it was a human influencer. I do pet stuff, but someone was just kind of complaining to me about it. But we hear this constantly from brands. So brands are shifting away from the traditional influencers. They want to make sure that you have the ROI for that brand before hiring you. So I think that's the biggest change that I see in the market when it comes to like working with brands and whatnot, that the brands want to see an ROI. The brands want to see, they want to do more affiliate partnerships. They want to do post for product to see how you're going to perform before coming in and hiring you. Some of them are still paying, but a lot of those budgets are cut drastically on our side. Like we're just seeing it across the board. We've been seeing it for the past 6 months. I continue to see that being the big change.
So then what do you recommend for influencers who do want to show that ROI before they get into discussions with these companies? Is there anything that they can do to kind of give them a little bit of an edge to get payment, or should we really focus our sites more on that affiliate marketing?
I think not every influencer is good at affiliate marketing. So I would say you need to know your market first. So if you are an influencer and you have the ability to influence someone's buying decision. So for me, there's a difference between a content creator and an influencer. So go back to that because everyone online and everyone posting and even not like you're content creators. You take pictures of your pets with your phones. And I just work in the pet. So like you take pictures of yourself and pictures of your family, pictures of your trip or videos. But people that post online and they don't make a sale, they're content creators. People that post online, they're able to influence their audience's buying decision. That is an influencer. It's actually a much smaller pool, and the term influencer is thrown around a lot. Yeah. I have people on our team that they have millions of followers and they really don't convert strong sales. And someone else with 10,000 followers can convert thousands of dollars of sales every month. So they're a stronger influencer than that million account. So for us, we track analytics of the influencers and we pull the quality audience number. So if you really want to get a brand deal, being able to prove that you can sell, being able to prove that and showcase that in I would say case study or putting it on your media kit, that's something that would be attractive to me. Because like right now we're hiring influencers to promote the animal list because we just launched it. And that I'm looking for people that can convert, or I'm just looking for content creators. And for content creators, I want really authentic, really organic, and I want people at a price point that matches what our budget is. So, and for me, there are thousands of pet accounts out there. So it's not too difficult.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to doing brand deals and having that information from past deals that you've done, how is that shifting and changing now that we're seeing a different viewership on the social platforms? Because right now, we used to have a lot of views on TikTok, and we're seeing a dramatically smaller pool of views and interactions and engagements. So, for people who have done this in the past, who got the higher paying gigs, who did really good ROI on what they worked with, what are we seeing shift wise and how we can market and leverage that to now get jobs?
We have to go where the audience is going. And if the audience is going off of social media on the platforms that you're on, like, hate to say it, but the budgets are going to get cut there. Like for just to give, I mean, I don't want to be super negative about it, but like it just is the reality. And if you're not going to adjust, and I think people are making more with like a TikTok shop right now and affiliate marketing than they are on the brand deal. So the really good influencers that are able to utilize your audience properly, they're making so much more with that. If you're able to go viral with that, if you're able to hone in there, they're doing better there than they are with the brand deals. And the brand deals also come with contracts. They come with a lot of time. You have to follow a creative brief. You have to do a lot more. And there's pros and cons to both. And like, I obviously want everyone to work all the time, but I foresee the budgets being cut more just because I'm in meetings constantly with brands. And this is just what I'm hearing. And it's scary for me because we run an agency. It is scary. And I'm worried. Like last year was probably the worst year financially for us. And just because of the change in the market. This year, things have gotten a little bit better because some brands have kind of come out of hibernation and which has been great. But I definitely see the shift. Like we've had to adjust our strategy and everything around it because of that. But if you want to work those deals, you have to just be able to prove that you can sell. And if you can do that to a brand, you're 10 times more likely to get hired than the next person because most influencers don't do that. It's not really a thing. I think that's someone like me that casts and hire animals for stuff. I need proof of ability.
So with the shifts that you're seeing working with influencers and content creators, we are also seeing a shift in how people are going to be spending their money to hire them. And we're seeing that evolve and change from platform to platform. A lot of times we see them leaning toward places like TikTok and Instagram, but are you starting to see a shift in where people are doing that content?
So this was the influencer market spend by platform as of last year. This is last year.
Okay.
And you will see that drastically change. So this was what was spent, and this is what that was said would be spent in 2024. So it changes very quickly. So more money is being spent on TikTok.
Okay.
Now, the other super interesting statistic, I mean, I can look at YouTube and I think more on YouTube too. So the Instagram budget has been cut pretty drastically going to TikTok and I think a little bit more YouTube. I think Facebook has also been cut. I think the audience is not spending as much time there. So they've gone on to other platforms. I'm going to predict that like YouTube is going to be stronger. So I think more of the marketing budget is going to go there. It's kind of been I've been thinking about it for so long.
I agree. And, I want to ask when it comes to YouTube, because now we have the ability to do long form content and short form content in the form of YouTube Shorts. Are you seeing more of a leaning toward that longer form content or inserts into longer form content? Or are you seeing them lean more toward that short form on YouTube?
I'm seeing a lot of short form or explanation videos, like the educational type videos. So that's really what we're seeing from brands right now. But the biggest difference actually on this slide is that they're not looking for influencers anymore. They're looking for nano and micro influencers. Like this is where their spend is had. They want this because one, they're cheaper. They're much cheaper. They're reaching more of a niche audience and are more authentic to that audience and are more likely to convert a sale than a mega influencer now. And this has kind of been the shift over the past 4 years It's gone from the bigger influencers slowly down to the smaller influencers. And then when COVID hit, it like went all to the bigger influencers, but then came right back down to where it was again. So this is, if you were a smaller influencer and UGC creator, I think more spend is going there than in other platforms. So, I mean, overall in influencer marketing, the statistic that 49% of people use social media for purchase buying decisions, and we 100% see that on TikTok. I see more product placement happening, similar to what happens in music videos and commercials, TV shows and movies. I see more of that happening, but with social media and FTC, you have to disclose all of that. Rightfully so, you should be always, and we always make sure everyone discloses on our team. And in the pet space, we only take a small percentage of this. Like a very, very small percentage of this is in the pet space. So this is the influencer spend overall, which it was projected to be much more, and it's adjusted down. Yeah. So yeah, and this is my handy dandy little, yeah. And then I'll stop with this one. I swear this is it. But most brands are going to user generated content, and we're doing that as a brand. Like, I'm not expecting direct sales from influencers promoting my content anymore, which wouldn't have been the case a year ago. A year ago, I would have expected it. I would have expected conversion. Now I'm hiring the influencers based on the type of content they're providing. I'm hiring people that are not posting online just so we can take that content and post on our social media. Like, that's the, we're in the middle of a campaign, like just talking about the animal list and how you can hire animal talent. So I'm looking for short form content, and I'm looking for educational content to teach people how to use it, what it is, like, because it's different, it's new. And we're just looking for people that align with our mission and want to give back and all of that. So the shift also, like, in less than 50% of brands want to even pay influencers. So a lot of them are not wanting to pay. And that's kind of the fascinating.
And it's really interesting how things are shifting so dramatically. Are you seeing with the UGC content that it is leaning more toward putting it on the company's pages, or are they using that for specifically for ads that they're not putting out on their pages?
Yeah, whitelisting their page or ads. I see a lot of that. Because they also, sometimes the content they make don't fit with the brand messaging. And they don't want to share all of that. So a lot of it could be ads, whitelisting for just almost like a case study. And for a case study, I mean, like, oh, this person used the product and they love it. Like, just like a testimonial type thing. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing.
Interesting. So I like that we are kind of moving more toward the ability to create testimonials and that educational content, do the whitelisting ads, and all of those things, of course, will be discussed in the contract that you are going to be signing with these companies, or the things that are surrounding the terms of service of working with those companies, whether you're affiliate or UGC. We have done lots of videos here on the channel. We've had our lawyer here to discuss these contracts. So if you've got questions on that, feel free to drop those down below. Our lawyer comes on every week, so we are more than happy to get the legal side of this answered for you as well. Colleen, before I let you go, is there anything else we need to know about how things are shifting in the influencer scape right now?
I think with more influencers sticking to your niche and being able to stand out and connecting with your audience is the best thing you can do right now to be able to weather this storm. Because I've always said that the influencer track is following reality TV. Like, when Jersey Shore took off, those people instantly became celebrities, right? And then following that, everyone that's doing reality TV, but not all the shows were popping off anymore. So some of the ones that pop off, the people become celebrities. The ones that don't kind of stay down. But those people are not big celebrities anymore. It's dwindling. So and influencers is kind of following that same trend, influencing, and that, like, need to want to know what's happening with them and all that's gone down for the audience. You kind of have to follow the audience if you want to. There's still brand deals out there. Like, there are a lot of brand deals out there, I'm not gonna lie. I think being able to shift, and if this is your full-time thing, if you're an entrepreneur doing this, if you need to be able to adjust how you're working with brands and what you're going to do moving forward. And I know that I'm probably 6 months to a year early for this, but the people that get on board, that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
And we are all, go ahead.
No, I'm saying we see it. Like, we just see that. me.
And we're all about looking into the future, predicting what is going to be happening based on what has happened in the past and what is happening right now. So, for updates on all of these things, make sure you're following along. We're going to get Colleen back in a little bit for an update because we always love hanging out with her here. And as always, Colleen, people can reach out to you on your social media, on your website. So, where can everybody find you?
On TikTok's where I'm probably the most active right now, but that'll probably go away and go to YouTube. Colleen Wilson POQ, or you can go to PetsonQ's YouTube or PetsonQ's Instagram, social, like TikTok, all of those. That my whole team is there if you don't get me.
And if you are a pet influencer, you can, of course, check out the Animal List. Just give us your 10-second pitch for that, Colleen.
Oh yeah, and the animals isn't just for influencers. It's content creators, people that want their animals to get into acting. You can hire working animals. Like if you need goat, this week I just like my job is so weird. If you need goats to graze something in your yard, you can hire that. If you're getting married and you want a horse-drawn carriage to bring you, you can hire that. We do music videos and hire horses out all the time. We've hired snakes in movies. Like it's just like anything you want to hire an animal for, like my son's birthday party, I will be hiring animals on the animal list for that. So yeah, if you want another way to make money or with your pet, or even as a UGC creator with your pet, post a listing on the animal list and I hope you get hired. We have so many producers hiring animals right now and it's been just so fun. Like it's like your own agency, like you can do it yourself and get direct contact with people looking to hire. So, and for people hiring, you can find the animals really easily and make casting calls, making casting calls free. And yeah, so yeah, that's it. I'm excited about it.
Drop your questions down below. We have a full playlist on how you can grow as an influencer, from the tools and technology that you're using to how you're navigating your social media to how you're constructing your influencer life to make sure that this is still a profitable space for you. And we want to make sure we're getting your questions answered in our upcoming episodes. We have a full playlist from the legal perspective with our lawyer as well that you do not want to miss out on. I will link some of those down below for you. But now is the time to get your questions in so we can help you level up as the next year is starting to approach, to make sure you have a game plan in place so that this is going to continue to carry you through as you are creating that income for yourself to do what you need inside of the influencer space. We'll see you in our upcoming daily episodes.